Right. Hello everyone. This is going to be a bit more of a lengthy video. I don't have I don't have any choice because I've got a lot to speak about, and it's very important that I make sure that I can get as much possible, as much information possible in this video to give to you all. It's quite controversial and it's quite interesting. I feel like this topic is the most interesting topic that I can really speak about when it comes to other beings. So I'll start from, I've wrote some notes down here to try and get as much as possible in to give you as much information as I possibly can. I'm just going to jump straight into it. So I'm going to be speaking about the Greys today. We all know the Greys. We all know them as the beings that we usually see. When we talk about aliens and other beings, the first sort of other being that we think of is the small Greys, that we've seen in our films, in what have you, on planet Earth. So, starting in 2020, when the lockdown started, a brief little thing, I started to become deeply unhappy, deeply dissatisfied with where I was in my life, who I was, what I looked like, what I was doing, and I decided to go on a journey of self-discovery and growth. I wanted to grow. I wanted to do something in my life that was going to make a difference to other people's lives, but also doing that for other people would make me feel satisfied as well. So I really went after it. I knew that I wanted to do something productive. So the first thing that was initially brought to my attention doing this, weirdly enough, was the Greys. And I started to find a fascination in aliens. Is there more out there? Is there more to this life? That's what I think, because I was so dissatisfied with my own life, I started to think, well, what more is there to learn? What is there out there? There can't just be this. There can't just be sat in my house, in the front room, in lockdown, doing nothing. There's got to be more to what I'm doing in my life. So I started to discover, and things started to come to me. Starseeds was mentioned, time traveling. I started to get a fascination with other beings. And yeah, I think the first sort of thing that I was seeing was like Area 51, and there's more to Earth than you think. And then I started to have a fascination with like different beings, like I said. And then I started to have really, really vivid dreams. I wrote down here, so I'll just be honest about how I felt about these dreams at the time. Some of them were scary. At the time, I felt a lot of fear. I used to wake up in the middle of the night sweating. I don't even know why. I just had this feeling that I was going to, I don't like this word, but be abducted. I had this feeling. I felt like because I had this new fascination with all the different things in life. It was just my intuition kicking off, and I was like, I'm gonna end up being abducted. And I can't say for definite if it was past memories in dream state or it was actually happening at the time. But a lot of things were happening in my dream state. So there was to do a lot of UFOs was in my dreams, a lot of greys. Some dreams were very positive and very loving, but I'd still wake up scared because I didn't know what was going on. I'd still wake up sweating and scared. Even if I felt like I was protected and loved in the dream, I still woke up like, what has just happened? Because if you think you go from an unawakened person to someone being awake, and you think that you're just going to sleep and your dreams don't really mean anything, to discovering that your dreams are very, very important, and there's actually a lot going on in your dreams that's happening, and it's your soul leaving your physical body, going into different places. So that was that was quite scary for me to get my head around for a lot of years. I'd say a good 2 years. I used to go to sleep thinking, "Oh my God, what's going to happen tonight? I'm going to get abducted again." I don't like that word because I've discovered some, it's the easy word to describe what's happening to people, but that word alone is bringing fear, and I don't like to bring fear, because what I've learned throughout the years, it's been 4 years now, what I've learned from those experiences is I no longer feel abducted. I feel like I'm going to see my star family, which is a nice way to look at it. And I have been guided through meditations and dreams, but also I've been guided to other people who've spoken about these experiences, what they've had, and it's helped me to realize what's actually going on. So, roughly just under 3 years later, January 2023, I'm meditating, and all I can hear in meditation is, you need to get an Akashic record reading. You need to get one. It's important. There's information needed for you that you need to hear, and it's going to influence not just your life but others. I actually see the person who I booked in my meditation. In my third eye, I seen this lady's face, and the message come through. So I said, I'm not leaving that by chance. I got a message. It was so vivid, so straight to the point. Seeing the person's face and everything. Messaged them within 5 minutes of coming out of meditation. Akashic record booked in for, I think it was 5 or 6 days later. I attend this Akashic record reading, and this lady who did it is very experienced. She's been doing it for years, and she told me that I was a grey, an actual grey in my multidimensional version. A multidimensional version of myself is a grey. Let's just say that, right? Again, I could say past life. But for all those who know that time doesn't exist, everything's all happening now, I'll say to you, multidimensional version of myself is a grey. And I've had multiple lives as different greys. Small, tall, there's many different greys, what people don't know about. People categorise greys as all the same. There is multiple. So then, once I realised that is my star family, and they're coming in for a purpose, they're coming in to help me, certain things then made sense. The meetings, what I didn't know, what I thought was happening, I thought I was being tested, and I thought I'm just going to say it, I'm going to be pure and honest, and I don't care what people think at this point, but I'd wake up and it'd be sexual experiences, and you wake up and that's quite what do you say about that, but I've got to be honest about my experiences. Did I understand why it was happening? Absolutely not. But did I have faith that everything was okay after the reading and me speaking to the greys through the Akashic record reader? Yes, I felt very comfortable in a weird way, because I knew that it must be happening for a reason. And they didn't just let me just have that experience and not explain themselves. Through different people, so they'd send me synchronicities through different people, like Bashar. Is it Daryl? If you type in Bashar, Daryl, I think his name's Daryl Anke or something like that. I know the being who's channeling through him more. I'm going a bit like this at the moment with my. Please bear with me. There's just a lot of information I'm trying to get through. I might even have to make a part 2. So I got introduced to Bashar, and his teachings were really, really, I was responding to him. They were resonating with me. Everything that he was saying, every question that was asked, his response was something that my heart was like, yes, I believe in that. I understand that. So perfect synchronicity at the right time. I was sent Bashar. Then I discovered that Bashar is you can type all this in on YouTube and Google, what have you, a Sasani being. He is a hybrid being. That is a grey, what I've been talking about, and a human being mixed. So both their DNAs mixed would make a Sasani. There's other hybrid races as well. But for today, I'll just talk about Sasani, okay? Because of Bashar. So I got introduced to Bashar. Everything started to make more sense. Then I thought, well, yeah, it's making sense. If he is a hybrid child, grey and human being mixed, that makes sense for me to be involved in something sexual. I'm a grey in this life. I'm a human in this life. Everything's happening all at the same time. Okay, it's starting to make sense. And then you hear about other abduction stories, mainly women who are being used for childbirth and their eggs are being used. Okay? It's very, like I say, it's very hard to get all this in one video. And I hope it's not a bit too much. That's why I might make a part 2. So yeah, I just started to get this feeling that I was involved in this hybrid program. Then I get the information that I've got hybrid children. It was a bit freaky at first. It makes sense to me now. This was only revealed to me 6 months ago. So yeah, I'll move into the next little bit now I want to speak about. What I want to speak about is don't let people's perception of what's happening with the greys influence you to think they're negative. It's a big one. It's a big one for me. If an experience happens, you define that experience. And I totally get it. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you're on an operating table and you have 6, 7 greys around you, okay, that's going to be quite scary to the human being's mind. I totally understand it. But that is also your perception of what's happening. These beings might have utmost respect and love for you and don't want to hurt you at all. They're just doing their job. But because your perception of what's happening is fear, you're going to look at these beings as evil, negative. Don't let other people's perceptions, and because I did, I listened to all different stories, and I thought, oh my God, they're going to kill me. They're going to kidnap me. They never bring me back. No, they take good care of me. Trust me. So yeah, I wanted to speak about how your perception of any beings, your intuition, use it, because it could be different beings who you meet in dream state, meditations, even in the physical eventually. You'll know by their frequency and how they're reacting to you and how you're responding to them. You'll know what's what. And I'm not saying that all greys or all beings are benevolent and peaceful, because that's again, that's sort of, I can't say that. I don't want to say that, because I want you to have your own experiences. I want you to define them how you want to define them. And I'm sort of going off on a rant again here, so I'm going to get back onto yeah, I put lack of emotions ? Down. That's another thing that I've heard and sort of felt, that they may have lack of emotions, which also might mean that they're a little bit more scary to you because they don't understand how you're feeling. Okay? It doesn't mean that they're going to hurt you, though. It doesn't mean that they want to hurt you. A big one for me, what I learned was soul contract before coming in. I've wrote this down. This is a big one. I was guided to different people who spoke about these soul contracts, and you've agreed before you've come in to have a contract with the Greys. You've had a contract to help them with the hybrid program. You've agreed that they can, you help them, they help you. They put you onto their ship in your dream state. They upgrade your DNA, but then you help them with the hybrid program. Hand in hand, both work helping each other. I can say that this is 100% for me, because I've had dreams of the Greys. I've had dreams going up into a massive spaceship, and the next morning I have so much more. I feel like I can hear. My clairaudience is higher. I'm more wise. I'm more this. I'm more that. I just feel higher. I feel wiser. I feel like I'm remembering more. I feel like more things make sense. So that's a big one. Oh, I feel like I'm going to have to make a part 2. I've just got so much information. Yeah, I'm going to make a part 2. Thank you guys for joining me for part 1. I know it's a little bit all over the place. I'm trying to make a video about Greys. There's so much information like I've wrote down. I'm remembering. Things are coming to me now to speak about. And I just think I should slow down and make a part 2. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Take care.